Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to How Do We Handle Hard Times in Life? Sadhguru Answers. So this is one I picked out because I ran out of Sadhguru suggestions. And I thought this would be an interesting one. How do we handle hard times in life? My answer to that, what would that be? I don't know. I mean, to me, you just gotta take it one day at a time, one step at a time, 1 minute at a time. I know that's not a good answer, but I mean, everyone will handle things differently. You gotta kind of see what the problem is. Kind of have to understand how to solve them. But again, how that's not even still a good answer. It is an answer, but not really a good answer because, well, how do you handle a problem? I mean, it all depends on what the problem is, honestly. How do we handle hard times? I guess a simple one's having a good friend that you can talk to. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started.
When will you learn how to handle my thought, how to handle my emotion? We will give you tools, how to figure this machine out. Whatever the issue, we'll do our best. But this should not be the issue.
In life, there are many phrases where we feel that we are depressed, we are lonely, and when everybody is against us, and there is no one to, guide us or talk about it. So at that moment, how should we handle it or how should we deal with it?
Well, let me go back to our question here. In life, there are many phases where we feel that we're depressed and lonely. I mean, I have a feeling I know Sadhguru is going to answer it wonderfully, but I want to try to answer it myself first to see how way off I am. But yes, we all go through. Some of us go through depression. Most of us go through some loneliness. And when everybody's against us, and there's no one to guide us or talk to us about it, you need to be a better person. If you have no one to talk to about that, what have you been doing with friends? Seems like it's very harsh, but how can you have everybody against you? And how can you have no one to talk about it? That is kind of strange to me. To me, that makes it sound like you have not been a good person to other people to have friends that you can talk to things about. Although I think I don't know, saying in such a way that maybe you are a good person but somehow don't have friends to talk about it. And to me, for the most part, the way I live my life is it's I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but I try not to depend on people. I try to do things on my own, even physical labor. Like I try not to bother people too much. I built my own desk by myself. Well, bought it and assembled it by myself. Although I could use some help. Anyways, but yeah, I tend to be self-sufficient. I tend to work things out on my own. I tend to realize what the problem is. I understand what the problem is, and generally speaking, I don't get bothered by it. It doesn't always work out. Obviously, it's gonna, for the most part, sometimes it will affect me. But after a few hours, I realize it, and then it no longer affects me the way it did. For the most part, I've been getting better at understanding my problem to the point where it doesn't affect me emotionally in terms of suffering. For the most part. But I will say human beings are social animals, so you definitely want to make sure you have good friends. Friends to where you can talk to someone about it, even if it's long distance. And if you have no friends, there is something wrong with you, maybe.
Everybody is against us, and there is no one to, guide us or talk about it. So at that moment, how should we handle it or how should we deal with it?
See,
Look inwards.
this is an unfortunate condition that a whole lot of human beings are in. In their experience, in their personal experience, life is like me versus the universe. Being in competition with the universe is a stupid thing to do.
I will say I don't see me versus the universe.
That's not a competition you must get into. Hello? Me versus the universe is a bad competition to get into.
The universe will always win.
So, this is why yoga does not mean twisting and turning your body. The word yoga means union. Right now it's me versus the universe. This is just your psychological condition. This is not the reality. Even when you feel utterly lonely, are you still breathing? So you're transacting with the world, isn't it? Yes? You only can't get along with the people around you, but atmosphere is okay with you, food is okay if it tastes good, water is okay. You have transaction with the world, isn't it? Your existence is constantly an engagement with the universe, but your mind becomes against the universe. If you create a psychological condition that you're against or you're in competition with the universe or the cosmos, obviously you will feel crushed for small things.
Yes, I will say, yeah, I mean, I don't understand why people would think that way. And I think… yeah, I don't understand why people think that way. I would hopefully never ever think that I'm against the universe or against everyone. That is a pretty desperate spot to be in. And it… I don't know what Sadhguru is going to answer, but I'm just going to say that it's probably because they don't understand the situation they're in. But that's just too much of a me kind of thinking. I'm curious as to what he has to say about that.
Little things will crush you. When I say little things, maybe you failed your examination, maybe you got thrown out of this university,
Well, those are not little things.
maybe you got fired from a job, maybe somebody ditched you,
That's a little thing.
maybe something else like this happened. These are all small things between life and death. Because you came here with nothing, isn't it? When you die, there is no container service for you. You die with nothing. In spite of that, most people have turned their homes into warehouses. Most people are carrying such a huge baggage on their head, as if they're carrying the whole universe on their head. This is their own psychological condition. Your thought and emotion is what you're talking about, right? When are you going to figure out how to handle your thought and emotion? Not hers, not hers, not his, yours. When are you going to learn how to handle my thought and my emotion? At the end of your life? The only problem really with life is just this. Most human beings have taken themselves too seriously. They don't understand.
100% I agree with that. I try not to take life too seriously. I mean, my gosh, life is hard enough as it is. Well, I don't want to say this, but I was going to say, you do not understand how much I try to joke around with people. I always poke fun and whatnot. That is my everything, I guess, is joking and laughing. Through sad times, through difficult times, through whatever times. Just laughing. Trying to laugh in a way. Well, I guess that's my answer for everything. That's why I hope forever and ever I will always laugh at people farting. As stupid as that sounds, that's genuine truth there. I hope that I can laugh at every joke. I hope every joke brings big joys to everyone too, but sadly enough, people are becoming too fancy for stupid jokes, and that's a loss for them in my opinion.
You've seen on the computer screen these pop-ups?
Pop-ups.
You are a pop-up on this planet. You pop up for 2 seconds and pop out. No, you must see, countless number of people like you and me have walked this planet. They were also big people. Where are they? All topsoil? Topsoil or no? Unless somebody, your friends decide to bury you real deep, fearing that you may rise from the dead. You know, there have been such instances. Or maybe you're planning to go to heaven. Hello?
You're still topsoil
Anybody who talks about a place other than this place, as a better place than this is a crime against humanity. My fundamental work is to destroy all heavens so that people will learn to live well here. All these idiots who made a hell out of themselves, they want to go to heaven. They made a mess out of this place and then they want to go to heaven. I'm asking you, do you have any proof?
And this is, I haven't said this saying in a while. And I used to say this is our heaven, but I like to say it a little bit more, this is our paradise. Whatever we do to this earth, however we handle people, however you handle your friends, your neighbors, well, this is gonna be your paradise. If you handle those people terribly, this is still your paradise. Why is that a contradiction? Because this is the best we're gonna get. If you make it like trash, you make it like a pleasant place, it's all up to us. You, me, everyone else. To make this a better place. And if we don't, well, I mean, it's still our paradise and we choose to destroy it.
Do you have any proof that you are not already in heaven and messing it up? Do you have any proof? You're already in heaven, making a mess out of it. Yes, simply because you are not even learning how to handle your basic faculties of thought and emotion, isn't it? Your only justification is, everybody is like this only, that's how it is in a madhouse. That is how it is in a madhouse, only a doctor looks crazy. So when are you going to handle it? Slowly, at the age of 60?
Too late
I'm
then.
asking. When will you learn how to handle my thought, how to handle my emotion, how to handle my body, how to handle my chemistry? When are you going to figure this? At the end of your life? Because this culture has grown, when to do spirituality means when you're 70, when you're no good for anything else. No, at the earliest possible time, whatever is most profound about you, not about heavens, about this life, everything that you need to know, you must know soonest, isn't it? Only then you live a sensible life.
I will say, I guess I've kind of gotten a little lucky that I've learned a lot of this, not a lot, some of this earlier in my life without even realizing all this. I think I said this in another video where I didn't know anything about Eastern philosophies until I started this, well, not started this channel, but like when I decided to start integrating Indian content of culture and stuff, and then got into wisdom videos, which I'm pretty much doing exclusively now. I don't know if I'm going to keep it that way. I still want to do trailers and stuff. That's another story. But yeah, and I've come to realize that a lot of my views, a lot of things that I believe in, while all these wise people are saying it, and I'm quite happy about that, honestly. I'm quite proud to say that. Can't believe, I wouldn't say as young as I am, but that I've learned this stuff on my own, even though I didn't know it all at all.
Okay, if I tell you a joke, you won't get offended. Because this is the most serious crowd I've ever seen in the last few years.
Jeez.
How many of them are journalism?
Ooh.
Most of them? Okay. This happened. Shankaran Pillai, when he was in Paris, was married to a French woman. One day, it was their anniversary, first anniversary. So she invited a bunch of friends and she wanted to cook something really fresh, everything fresh. So from morning, she was driving him to this market, that market, he got this fresh vegetables, fresh meat, fresh chicken, this, that, everything. Then in the evening she said, because the French have this, snail appetizer.
Escargot.
She said, go to the beach and get some snails, fresh. And I will make some appetizer for all the friends who are coming. So Shankaran Pillai went to the beach and he was picking up all the snails and putting it in a bucket. Then he met an old friend, an Indian guy. They hit it off and they were talking about their old times. He just forgot that he's married. You know, when you meet old friends, it happens. And both of them went to a bar and they had a few drinks and he just forgot. Then he realized, then the snails were just climbing out and one snail fell out of the bucket. He realized, oh my God, I'm supposed to take these snails, my wife, French wife, she's waiting. So he said, I need to go, and he went. By then it was already very late. He went, he knew it's not going to be pleasant. So he came near the house and spilled all the snails on the ground, threw away the bucket and went and knocked on the door. The French fury came. He turned back and said, come on you guys, we're almost there, come on, let's go.
Oh.
So, when are you going to pick your snails and put them in the bucket and fix them? Huh? Your problems, you must fix them, isn't it? These are not problems. I want you to understand, you are not suffering your life. You're only suffering two fantastic faculties that only… It's a privilege of being human that we have these two fantastic faculties. One is, we have a vivid sense of memory.
I will say that is one thing that I've noticed, a lot of the wisdom people talking about is memory. Such a key element, apparently. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about it quite a bit, but it's… why memory? I mean, because animals act on instinct, not instinct. I was thinking, do animals have memory? It seems like they do. I think elephants, I believe, can remember the path they take all the time. I think they have memory too. It's not necessarily instinctual. Most basic animals react on instinct. When they see a predator, how do they know it's a predator? Is it instinctual, like a smell or something? Or are they instinctually just afraid of everything and run away? Or do they know exactly what their predator looks like, which would be indicating that they may have memory? I'm not sure. But is memory something exclusive to humans now? Especially when you know, I believe elephants, I think they remember the path that they take every year. I think they take a very similar path to, like, I guess a water grounds or something, if I remember correctly.
This is because of this memory our life is so rich, unlike any other creature. And we have a fantastic sense of imagination. Now, this is what you're suffering. What happened 10 years ago, you can still suffer. Why? Are you suffering life or memory? Hello? Memory. What may happen day after tomorrow, you're already suffering. Are you suffering life or imagination? Two most fantastic faculties you have, you're suffering. So what are you asking for? You want to become once again an earthworm. An earthworm is a very eco-friendly creature, I have nothing against it. But it took millions of years of evolution to get you this size of brain, and now you're suffering it. If we take away half your brain, of course you will sit there without any anxiety, without any suffering, peacefully. What we need is, we need to remove your brain, because you're suffering your own intelligence. Yes or no? Yes. Because we gave you a very complex machine, you have not bothered to read even the user's manual. You want to just blunder around. No, young people, it's time you figure out a few things about you. If you don't know how, we will give you tools, how to figure this machine out, because in your life, many issues will come. More issues come up in your life means you're living a more active life. Nothing came up means you're not living. Yes? Lots of issues every day. I have the maximum number of trouble going on in my life on a daily basis, because so much of activity around the world, global level of activity only with volunteers, okay? Volunteers means nobody is qualified for the job and you can't fire them for inefficiency and they love you. What to do? This one thing you must fix, that is, in your life, you are not the issue, okay? Whatever the issue, we'll do our best, but this should not be the issue.
Well, how do we handle hard times in life? Let me go back so it's not so bright. Memory is the problem. Well, I mean, fair enough to a degree, yes. It's kind of funny though to say you're because of tomorrow you're suffering. That's so funny to me. Something that hasn't happened yet and you're suffering from it. Things that already happened in the past and you're suffering for it in the present. That is kind of hilarious. But again, I do completely understand that though. I mean, even with whatever understanding I have of myself, I still do suffer from things that has not happened yet and that has happened from the past. But as I get a better understanding of it, as I realize that I can't change the past, and so it is what it is, and I just move on with life. You know, he's suffering from it, from something from the past. It's just not gonna do anything for you. You're just, like Sadhguru says, you're just suffering for nothing. Nothing you can do about it. For the future, well, it still hasn't happened yet, so there's still a chance, usually. Now, unless something from the past that has happened that's going to affect you in the future, that's terrible. But, you know, at least you can prep for it. You can't change the past, and if it's going to happen in the future anyway, then you can't change the future. I mean, usually you can, but you have to understand your situation. And I always say there's just two things you can do. Whatever's going to happen, you can do something about it or you can't do anything about it. If you can't do anything about it, well, then there's nothing to worry about because you can't do anything about it. If you can do something about it, then there's two things you can do with that. Either you do something about it or you don't do anything about it. If you don't do anything about it, well, then you know what the problem is, you know what the solution is, or at least at the very least you know the decision that you make. You don't want to do anything about it, then don't worry about it. If you want to do something about it, then do something about it, and then still don't worry about it. That's something I kind of, well, I don't know if I've realized that a long time ago or not, but something that I've recently thought of. I guess within a decade, I suppose. But again, something I've said in my other videos whenever the topic comes up. But anyways, I never thought about memory being a problem, but it is true though. Anyways, that's my reaction to how do we handle hard times in life, Sadhguru answered. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.